All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode. It's Droppin' Dimes. I'm Matthew Donio. That's Adam Deeney. Welcome back.
Super Bowl, a lot to talk about. Episode 5, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think
Or
we're at episode 5 now.
4. I'm pretty sure it's episode.
Who knows? Who cares? But you know what? I mean, it's the Super Bowl, and somehow I'm actually not that hyped up for it. I mean, two teams I hate, the Chiefs and the Eagles. But you know what? This is going to be who do I hate less? And in this case, I think it's the Eagles. I don't know about you.
This is probably going to be the Super Bowl where I got no interest in watching it. When it comes down to both of these teams already competing 2 years ago against each other, and the halftime show probably not being. It could be okay.
It could be all right. I mean, Kendrick Lamar, right? I mean, who knows?
But when it comes to these two teams, it's just you've already seen it.
Yeah, we have.
So we know how this story goes. And going back to what you said, between the two of us, it's like who do we hate less?
Yeah.
Who do because it's really, well, for me it's a lose-lose.
Yeah, it really is.
Because I'm a Giants fan, and the Eagles are like the Giants' biggest rival.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like seeing Eagles fans happy. This entire playoff race, it's been, oh, the Eagles are so good, and whatnot. I'm not saying the Eagles are a bad team. They're a good team. They're very well built. They have great players.
You just hate to see it as a Giants
on both
fan.
sides of the ball, right?
Because you know it's not your team.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd like to go over one thing really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Eagles, their path to the Super Bowl has been a little bit easier than people think.
It has.
So they beat Green Bay, right? Basically, every single flag in that game went their way.
Mm-hmm.
The wild card, the Vikings get beat out. That was one of the teams that could beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
So the Vikings are gone. And then it's the divisional round. They play the Rams, who obviously beat the Vikings.
The Rams, honestly, in the snow, I wasn't expecting the Rams
Yeah.
to do as well as they did. And I mean, if that game were indoors in the Rams' usual
Yeah.
spot, I mean, come on.
So
Come on.
Eagles beat the Rams, who aren't really used to the snow. In the same week, the Detroit Lions, who are the 1 seed, who is the other team.
I mean, everybody thought the Lions would be in the Super Bowl this year. Come on.
That's the other team that could have beaten the Eagles.
Yeah.
They get beat out by Washington.
Yeah, and Washington. Washington played a heck of a game, but they couldn't keep it rolling. They just couldn't keep it rolling against the Eagles. It was pretty sad. I mean, I was rooting for them. I was like, man, the underdog.
Yeah.
But
so basically, you have a game that goes your way in the wild card. Vikings are gone. That's a threat. Lost.
Mm-hmm.
The divisional round, you beat the Rams. The Lions are gone.
Yeah, and the number one seed is gone.
That's
another the number one
That's
seed.
another threat that you don't have to face. So then you beat Washington, who you beat once in the regular season. So
Mm-hmm.
now you're going to the Super Bowl against Kansas City. I just feel like I don't want to see this story again.
Yeah, we've seen it. We know what happens. We know what happens. It's going to be an outrageous clown show by the referees, who, by the way, have come out and they've tried to defend. Roger Goodell, and the head of the referees, I think, came out the other day and said, like, let's stop with the criticism. Like, there's no way all hundreds of these referees would all be rigging it for the Chiefs. But like, when you really look at it, it's like, who pays the referees? The NFL. And what does the NFL want? That storyline with the Chiefs three-peat and Travis Kelce popping the question and giving the ring to Taylor Swift. That's what they want. They want the Chiefs to be the next big thing. And I honestly don't know why. I mean, I think I hate the Chiefs more than the Tom Brady Patriots, because at least you could somewhat respect Tom Brady a little bit. He was just an absolute great athlete, the greatest quarterback of all time, easily. Patrick Mahomes is not to that level. He's not that good. He's not.
So
he's good, but he's not Tom Brady level.
So you feel like whether like his stats are comparable and his rings are comparable, whatever, you feel like Mahomes doesn't play as well as Brady.
And they're painting Mahomes out to be the next Tom Brady or better than Tom Brady. Like, I mean, sure, Tom Brady didn't have a three-peat, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, Mahomes might get one, which is it's outrageous that we even have to talk about that. Having the same Super Bowl winner 3 years in a row is not good for the league. I don't care if they're your team or not. It makes it less special every time, and the whole rest of the league just knows what the outcome's going to be. You know?
I'll I'll say this. Um, it's weird because like you hate the Chiefs and the Eagles. I agree on both sides. I'll say this: when we look back at Tom Brady and the Patriots dynasty, right? Everyone really didn't like Tom Brady until the end of his career,
True.
and he was getting called out for cheating and everything like that.
Yeah, but I
It
mean,
wasn't until like Tom Brady got his seventh ring, which is the most of any player, and he finally retired, that people started to think of him as the GOAT. And when you going back to like when the Patriots were winning all the time, no one, everyone, it's the same thing. Everyone was tired of seeing the Patriots at the top um, in the big game every year. So
yeah,
after Brady retired, fans finally respect him and think of him as the GOAT because he was a great player. I think it's really the same thing with the Chiefs.
no, because
Uh,
the Chiefs, the refs, they just throw out a flag. Like Mahomes just goes like, "Ugh," and then 15-yard penalty roughing the passer. It's just like
that
it's outrageous. It's outrageous.
everyone thinks of it as outrageous. I'm not saying it's not, but it it's not like out of the question whether like let's say in 5 to 10 years where the Chiefs aren't really at the top anymore, and there's some other team doing it, or it's like this team, that team, year after year, whatever. 5 to 10 years down the line, maybe we'll look at it and say, okay, the Chiefs got the three-peat. It was never done before, and we witnessed history, and it was a great thing to watch
I don't
on
think I'll
TV.
ever think it was a great thing. But let's talk about the script and the logo theory. Because I mean, come on, like cue the logo, cue the logo.
We got we got
I mean,
we got red, and we have green.
it's the Eagles Chiefs. It's the same deal like it was the like you remember like with like the Bengals Rams. I mean, come on. The logo theories I
Let's
feel like the logo theory has been proven by now. Even if it
it
has a year or two off, it's like
it could be proven.
I think it's
Let
mostly
when
proven.
you look back at all the Super Bowl logos, it was the same thing. They had the Roman numerals representing what number it was,
Yeah. Then they started
and
throwing in the color.
they started throwing in the colors.
Yeah.
2020, you have orange for the Bengals and yellow for the Rams. By the way, that logo and all the logos after it, the color of the team at the bottom was the team that won the Super Bowl. The Rams, the yellow was at the bottom. They won the big game. Year after that, it was green and red. The red for Kansas City at the bottom of the logo. Chiefs won.
Hmm.
Last year was the year that it was kind of debunked a little bit.
Yeah.
So there was 40 a
It
lot of
was
people
purple,
a lot
right?
of people thought it was going to be the 49ers who had
And the
the red
Ravens.
at the top, and
And it could have been the
and the
Ravens. It looked
Ravens
like it was gonna. It
who
could have been the
who had
Ravens.
the purple at the bottom. Now, after the Ravens lost to the Chiefs, for some reason everyone
Everybody
started
was saying Taylor Swift dress purple. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how much I believe that one, but
that
I mean, the logo theory this year it makes sense.
biggest reach
It
I've
is
ever
a
heard in
big
my life.
reach. Yeah,
But this year it's sort of like been proven again.
it has been. It's
Like
back. The
you,
logo theory is back and
you
better than ever.
got the red for the Chiefs and the green for the Eagles. And there was the logo for next year's came out.
Yeah, it
I'm
was
pretty
both. It
sure.
was blue, right? It was like
Yeah,
almost all blue,
they
like
had
dark and
like
light blue, right?
the city silhouette in the background.
Yeah.
Um, again, it could be fake. You never know with
Yeah,
like
you
AI.
really don't because I think like this logo, there were a couple different versions floating around this time last year.
But like if it is true, like people are starting to predict
Yeah,
like this team
and I
could be in
mean,
it. You know,
how about even adding on to the script and crazy theories? The NFL and the Chiefs, they just bought the rights to be able to say three-peat. Like, I forget who they bought it from. They bought it from, I think, maybe it was some guy from the Miami Heat. I don't know if you know, but they bought the rights to be able to say three-peat. Like, you don't just buy the rights to that and waste all that money unless you actually think or know it's going to happen. I mean, everybody knows. As much as I love the Eagles,
So
as much as I hate the Eagles, but
if
I want
they
them to win.
so if they
Yeah.
if they actually did buy the rights to that, um, what if they bought it and that doesn't happen? Like,
Well, then there you go. I guess
is it
it's
just
just
money wasted?
I guess it's just money wasted, or they just save it and they have it for the next time. Who knows? Maybe my Steelers will go on a three-peat. I think Justin Fields is the one to do it. Justin Fields will do it if they stick with him, but
Well,
a man can dream. But I mean, as much as I hate the Eagles, I have to respect Saquon Barkley. I have no respect for Jalen Hurts, though. He's a thug. He's just a thug. Nobody likes him. Like, come on. Like, he's so fake. He's a terrible quarterback. Like, he's not. He's like a game. He's a game manager. You put any quarterback behind that team. You put Kenny Pickett behind that team. We already saw. We already saw what happens. Like that team is just so stacked. Saquon Barkley is a legend. He's a legend.
I've been saying it for a while. Even when Barkley was on the Giants, I knew, obviously different situations. Giants didn't have the O line the Eagles had,
Mhm.
but even like Saquon's getting hurt this year, he's getting hurt that year, whatever. He was still their best offensive player on a terrible team. So I was thinking to myself, okay, if Saquon's getting injured on our team, like if we were to take Saquon Barkley and put him on the Eagles, behind the Eagles offensive line, he could probably rush for over 2,000
so you
yards.
thought about that, like, oh yeah, if he was on the Eagles, we had the line that the Eagles had, yeah. And of course now it happened,
and
but
that is exactly what happened.
yeah.
Saquon Barkley is obviously getting the chance to prove himself. He's showing like how good of a player he is.
If he keeps it up, how he's been playing in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl, and the Eagles win, he will be Super Bowl MVP. Come on, like Hurts is just not. He's not going to be the MVP. I mean, Barkley is just like the offense. He is the offense.
He was so good this year, but I feel like with the way he's played, it's gotten to the point where like obviously he's a running back, but the entire offense is just like handed off to him. This entire playoffs, I've barely seen AJ Brown or Devontae Smith get used. I've seen Dallas Goedert get more targets.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot. Yeah,
so
a lot more than them.
That's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But
hey, let's make our final prediction. See if we were right. As much as I want the Philadelphia Eagles to win because I can't stand the Chiefs, I have to go with the Chiefs because they have the refs and they got Roger. Good old Roger Goodell. What do you think?
I think for me it's a lose-lose, honestly.
Yeah. But who do you think is going to come away with the Lombardi Trophy?
I hope it's Kansas City.
You hope it's Kansas City
because I don't want to come in the week after the Super Bowl after the Eagles win, especially in a Philly area.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
I think I don't want to see the Eagles win and have the fans be happy, but yet again, I'm also a little bit tired of seeing the Chiefs come out of the AFC. I want to see like another team get a shot because there's a lot of good teams in that conference.
Yeah, the AFC.
But at the same time, if the Chiefs do win and they three-peat, everyone else is going to be complaining. I'll be like, okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll complain too for a little bit, but I mean, I'm just going to move on. I mean, it's just like it's baseball season.
It's also
going to be baseball season. So
it'll be history made if they three-peat. I think the Chiefs are going to come out on top with the Lombardi. Patrick Mahomes would probably be MVP.
Yeah,
that sounds expected.
Sounds right.
Nevertheless, I'm not going to watch it, but
yeah, I don't even know. I'll watch probably just with my family. Nothing crazy. Not the big party I was going to host.
Yeah.
Well, no, I would have gone if the Steelers made it. I mean, come on. But we weren't ever going to make it. I mean, with Russell Wilson. But I think that's about all the time we have for today. Pleasure. Always a pleasure, Adam.
Well,
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll see if we were right. I mean, who knows? And then hopefully we keep the podcast going a little bit through the off season. Talk about maybe do an episode on the head coaches, episode on some players and free agency,
maybe.
the draft.
Yeah.
But I think maybe we'll move over to baseball. I mean, who knows? Maybe we should start a baseball podcast.
Who knows? We were thinking about it with Vinny Tedesco in the
Yeah,
second
yeah.
episode. But
Yeah. But who knows? Yeah, that does it for this episode. We'll see you next week.